Section: Introduction. In this section, we analyze recent findings related to transformer-based large language models, such as GPT-2, Llama 2, and others. We have identified three notable phenomena that frequently occur together in these models, which we call the extreme token phenomena. For example, in Llama 3, we observe that the first token, known as the sync token, receives a lot of attention, has smaller value states, and larger residual state norms compared to other tokens. Importantly, any token can act as a sync token, not just the first one, and in some models, a delimiter token can also take on this role. These extreme token phenomena create challenges for pre-trained transformers, especially during long context inference and model quantization, as they can hinder performance. We propose introducing a special token to prevent other tokens from becoming syncs, but even this special token can still show extreme token behavior. Previous research has not fully explained why these phenomena occur, but we suggest that models tend to focus unnecessary attention on specific tokens. Our goal is to clarify the mechanisms behind these extreme token phenomena. We believe they stem from an active-dormant mechanism in attention heads, along with a mutual reinforcement mechanism during pre-training. We support our claims through studies on simplified transformer architectures and experiments with pre-trained models. In our paper, we outline our contributions as follows. First, we train simple transformers on a task called the bigram backcopy task, which also shows extreme token phenomena. We demonstrate that these phenomena result from the active-dormant mechanism and that attention sinks and value state drains reinforce each other, leading to a stable phase where all query tokens generate similar attention outputs for extreme tokens. Next, we show that many attention heads in pre-trained models switch between active and dormant states based on the input. For instance, we identify a specific attention head that activates on GitHub data but remains inactive on Wikipedia data. We also observe the same mutual reinforcement mechanism in another model, confirming that our simple task captures the essential properties of extreme token phenomena. We find strong consistency between our theoretical and empirical results, particularly regarding the concentration of attention on extreme tokens. We summarize these findings in a table. To address the extreme token phenomena, we suggest architectural changes, such as replacing softmax with ReLU activations in attention heads, which eliminates these issues in our task. We also discuss how switching from ATOM to SGD can help reduce residual state peaks, suggesting that similar strategies might work for larger language models. In the related work section, we note that other studies have also identified the attention sink phenomenon in various models and have proposed methods to mitigate it. We highlight the growing field of mechanistic interpretability, which seeks to understand how language models perform specific tasks, and we connect our work to previous research on synthetic tasks that explore neural network mechanisms. Section Summary. In this section, we analyze the extreme token phenomena observed in transformer-based large language models, highlighting how certain tokens, particularly sync tokens, disproportionately attract attention and affect model performance. We propose that these phenomena arise from an active-dormant mechanism in attention heads and a mutual reinforcement mechanism during pre-training, which we support through theoretical and empirical studies. Section: Notation. In this section, we denote the softmax attention layer with a causal mask as ATTN, the MLP layer as MLP, and the transformer block as TF. We represent the query, key, value states, and residuals of a token V as query_V, key_V, val_V, and res_V, respectively, with the specific layer and head indicated in context. The term logit_V refers to the logits related to the key of token V and the queries of all other tokens. We use S to refer to the beginning of sequence token, which we interchangeably call extreme tokens since it consistently acts as such in large language models, LLMs. Throughout the paper, we adopt zero indexing, meaning that attention head and layer indices start at 0 for consistency with our code. Next, we analyze simple transformers trained on the bigram backcopy, BB task, which shows extreme token phenomena. We illustrate the active-dormant mechanism and mutual reinforcement mechanism within the BB task and predict the behavior of sync tokens, which we will validate through LLM experiments later. The bigram backcopy task consists of two subtasks, bigram transition and backcopy. Each sequence starts with the S token, followed by tokens sampled based on a set bigram transition probability, resembling a Markov chain. When specific trigger tokens appear, we copy the preceding token to the next position instead of sampling. We select the transition probability and vocabulary size based on the character-level bigram distribution from the tiny Shakespeare dataset. The set of trigger tokens, CORT, includes the 3 most frequent tokens from the unigram distribution, leaving us with 61 non-trigger tokens. We pre-train a standard 1-layer transformer with a single softmax attention head and 1 MLP layer on the bigram backcopy task. The model is trained using Atom for 10,000 steps, achieving nearly optimal prediction accuracy. Our results show that the trained transformer exhibits the attention sink phenomenon, where the S token captures a large portion of the attention weights. Notably, non-trigger tokens show attention sinks, while trigger tokens focus attention on their preceding positions. We also observe a value state drain phenomenon, indicating that for non-trigger tokens, the attention head contributes little value to the residual stream. We propose the active-dormant mechanism based on the attention weight patterns we observed. An attention head is active if it significantly contributes to the residual state and dormant if its contribution is minimal. Our findings reveal that the attention head is active for trigger tokens and dormant for non-trigger tokens. The MLP layer is responsible for the bigram task, while the attention head manages the backcopy task. When we disable the MLP layer, the backcopy loss remains better than random guessing, but the bigram loss drops to near random levels. Conversely, disabling the attention layer worsens the backcopy loss beyond random guessing, while the bigram loss stays stable. This indicates that the attention head is active for trigger tokens and dormant for non-trigger tokens, allowing the MLP layer to handle the bigram task. Lastly, we illustrate the training dynamics of attention logits and value state norms for the S token. We compute the change in logits for the S token as a measure of attention sinks. Both bigram and backcopy risks decrease to nearly 0 within the first 1,000 steps. As the backcopy risk drops, attention weights on the S token increase, suggesting a link between attention sinks and the backcopy function. Even after the first 1,000 steps, while both risks are nearly 0, the attention logits and weights for the S token continue to rise, while its value state norm decreases. We aim to understand why these attention logits and value state norms keep evolving toward extreme values. Section Summary. In this section, we analyze the bigram backcopy task using a 1-layer transformer, revealing the active-dormant mechanism of attention heads where they are active for trigger tokens and dormant for non-trigger tokens. We observe that attention sinks form around the beginning of sequence token, while the value state norms decrease, indicating a complex interplay between attention weights and task-specific contributions during training. Section: Analysis of a minimally sufficient transformer architecture. In this section, we analyze the training dynamics of a transformer model on the BB task, focusing on a simplified architecture that includes key features like attention sinks and value state drains. We examine the scenario where the bigram transition probability is learned, and the backcopy task is partially learned, specifically between steps 200 and 100,000. Our focus is on the behavior of attention logits and value states. We define a set of tokens, excluding the special token S, and denote trigger tokens as a separate set. For any token in our defined set, we represent the next token's transition probability as a vector. We assume that tokens are represented in a high-dimensional space using one-hot encoding, simplifying our notation by treating tokens as their corresponding one-hot vectors. The predicted probability for the next token is calculated using a softmax function applied to the output of our transformer architecture, which consists of an attention mechanism and a multi-layer perceptron, MLP. The MLP is responsible for handling the bigram task, outputting transition probabilities for non-trigger tokens and 0 for trigger tokens. For the attention mechanism, we assume specific patterns for the attention logits related to the special token and trigger tokens. We also define the value states for the special token and non-trigger tokens. Our simplified transformer architecture is illustrated in a figure. We present a theorem that confirms the existence of a transformer architecture capable of generating the true transitions of the BB model under certain conditions. We summarize our assumptions and define variables related to token occurrences in the input sequences. The output of the attention layer for a non-trigger token is expressed in terms of the attention logits and value states. We focus on the cross-entropy loss between the true and predicted transition probabilities, neglecting losses on trigger tokens for simplicity. We consider the average loss across non-trigger tokens, weighted by their stable distribution. We assume certain parameters are fixed while allowing others, like attention logits and value states for the special token, to be trainable. Our theorem illustrates the logarithmic growth of attention logits, the reduction of value states, and the stability of these variables over time. We discuss the implications of our findings, noting that as attention logits grow, their gradient behavior suggests a logarithmic increase. We also observe that the system can maintain stability without requiring large attention logits, although models trained on the BB task often reach a stable phase with relatively high logits. Section Summary. In this section, we analyze the training dynamics of a simplified transformer architecture on the BB task, focusing on the behavior of attention logits and value states during the learning process. We demonstrate that under certain conditions, this architecture can generate the ground truth transitions of the BB model, revealing insights into the logarithmic growth of attention logits and the stability of value states. Section. The formation of attention sinks and value state drains. In this section, we explain how our findings reveal the mutual reinforcement mechanism that leads to the formation of attention sinks and value state drains. To put it simply, for any attention head responding to a specific prompt, if the model can predict the next token accurately without using that attention head, but adding any value state from previous tokens, except for certain special tokens, makes the prediction worse, then that attention head becomes inactive, creating an attention sink at those special tokens. This dynamic occurs because of the interaction between attention sinks and value state drains, with the training process favoring the special token as the most significant one. We revisit our experimental results, which show that the growth rates of a specific measure align with our theoretical predictions. When we look at the training dynamics of a single-layer transformer model, we see that this measure increases steadily at first, then accelerates before stabilizing. Meanwhile, the norm of the value state consistently decreases. This simultaneous increase in attention weights and decrease in value state norms illustrates the mutual reinforcement mechanism at work during training. To further validate our theory, we created a simplified model that aligns with our equations and trained it using the same method. The training curves we obtained mirrored those of the one-layer transformer, also demonstrating the mutual reinforcement mechanism. Although our theory is based on a specific task and a simplified model, we believe the principles are widely applicable. We expect that the formation of extreme tokens in larger language models follows a similar mutual reinforcement process. Our theory rests on two main assumptions. First, that even when a specific attention head is inactive, the model can still predict the next token accurately. And second, that the value states of previous tokens remain relevant for certain tasks, except for special tokens. We explore how these phenomena develop during the training of larger language models, finding that our empirical results support our theoretical framework. We also predict that using ReLU attention instead of softmax will eliminate attention sinks and value state drains. Without softmax, the training dynamics won't push attention weights toward the special token, which remains inactive throughout training. This absence of attention sinks means the value state norm won't decrease, disrupting the mutual reinforcement mechanism. Our experiments confirm this prediction, showing that when using ReLU attention, the model's performance converges to the optimal risk without the expected changes in attention logits or value states. Next, we investigate the phenomenon of residual state peaks. We find that single-layer transformers trained on our task do not show these peaks. However, when we train slightly deeper models, we observe that two-layer models do not exhibit residual state peaks, while those with 3 or more layers do. Finally, we conduct intervention experiments on a specific model architecture to see how zeroing out the first layer affects the model's behavior. After this intervention, we find that the residual state norm decreases significantly, and the attention logits and value state norms return to normal levels. This indicates that the presence of a large residual state at the output of the first layer contributes to the formation of attention sinks and value state drains in the middle layers of pre-trained transformers. Section Summary. In this section, we explain the mutual reinforcement mechanism behind attention sinks and value state drains in transformer models, demonstrating that certain attention heads become dormant when their contribution worsens predictions. Our experiments confirm that this mechanism is observable in training dynamics, and we predict that using ReLU attention instead of softmax will eliminate these phenomena, as it disrupts the training dynamics that lead to attention sinks and value state drains. Section: Linear growth of residual state norm with ADAM training. In this section, we explore the linear growth of residual state norms when using the ADAM training method. Our findings show that during pre-training on the BB task, the residual state norms of the token at the output of layer 0 in 3-layer transformers increase linearly with ADAM. When we switch from ADAM to SGD or from softmax to ReLU attention, the peaks in residual state norms disappear. We also observe that while attention sinks remain when changing to SGD, the peaks are eliminated. The same occurs with ReLU attention, which lacks the mutual reinforcement mechanism. This suggests that the peaks in residual state norms are dependent on softmax attention and the ADAM optimization algorithm. We provide a possible explanation for this in the appendix. Next, we investigate extreme token phenomena in open-source pre-trained large language models, LLMs. In our analysis of Llama 2-7B base, we confirm the presence of an active-dormant mechanism, noting a specific head that is active with GitHub samples but dormant with Wikipedia samples. We then examine the dynamic behavior of extreme token phenomena during the pre-training of Olmo 7B. Our results indicate that the attention logits, value state norms, and residual state norms of the sync tokens in Olmo behave similarly to those in the simpler BB model. Specifically, we find that the simultaneous presence of attention sinks and value state drains supports the mutual reinforcement mechanism.